For those asking if Uwan, also known as Fung-wong, is going to loop back around and hit the Philippines, you see right here on satellite imagery where it is right now, located just towards the west of Taiwan. Still got some breezy conditions there across northern areas of the Batanes Islands and even around Ilocos Norte. In fact, Signal Force Warning 1 is still in place for some of these islands. So it's not looping back, but it is still kind of the outer rain band, still bring those breezy conditions out there. But to say that it's going to loop back as a typhoon and hit the Philippines again is vastly wrong. And I'm seeing a lot, even like big media saying that that's what's going to happen, like in their headlines. Then they drill down and explain. So basically the PAR is this, where the green line is right there. It's this box around the Philippines that says it will exit the PAR and then goes back in. It's just like this imaginary diplomatic box that the Pagasa uses to monitor these storm systems. So it's not looping back because it's going to re-enter the PAR. But with that said, still got some breezy conditions here. It is improving, vastly improving. This is no longer a typhoon either, by the way. It is a severe tropical storm. It's still going to be a big rainmaker for our friends out here across parts of Taiwan, and even over towards the southern Japanese islands as it kind of kicks off into that direction here. So yeah, not looping back around, but still, impactful across some of these spots. It still is a tropical storm, and I wouldn't say it's done yet. With that said, too, even on the backside of this, we're going to see much drier conditions, which is great news for northern areas of Luzon, because despite, it moving away, we are still seeing very serious flooding across the Cagayan River. Now, from all the reports I've seen, it didn't get as high as Ulysses back in 2020, but it is still having a major impact out here. Look at this, just the river overflowing its bank, which it does, it naturally does. Problem is, there's a lot of homes right along these banks, and typically it's more often than not poor communities that are impacted by that. So when people say the Sierra Madres stopped the storm, it weakened it a little bit, but that energy doesn't disappear. It just gets displaced. Energy is a constant. You can't create or destroy it. You just kind of move it, right? And earlier when this storm came on shore, the mountains of the Sierra Madres and the Cordilleras weakened the storm, but it squeezed out of all that moisture just like a sponge, and if you squeeze a sponge that's water loaded, what happens? It just all falls on the ground, and that's why we saw just this tremendous amount of rainfall across parts of the mountains there. And where does that water go? It runs into the rivers. So yeah, the good news, it was fast moving, so at least it didn't linger. If the storm was a lot slower mover, the flooding in northern Luzon would be significantly worse. And it's why Manila and the Marikina River rose, but it didn't get the critical levels there. So as far as Taiwan, though, the good news, since this is falling apart, it is going to be a rainmaker there, but not the worst weather. It's definitely a far cry from the storms we've seen earlier this season, but a very rare late season storm in the southwest portion of the island. It's actually quite unusual to get one this time of year. Usually they keep tracking west towards like Vietnam, but thanks to a passing trough, it's cooking it and kind of kicking it off towards the north. And that same passing trough's helping to usher in the northeast monsoon, which is why on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies here across a good portion of the northern Philippines, with that dry air filtering in on the back side of this storm system. So let's bounce over once again to the bigger picture here. The other question everybody's been asking, and for good reason, is a tropical wave towards the south and east of Mindanao. Now, it's hard to combat misinformation with this because part of me wants to go, yeah, there's a tropical wave. It's coming towards Mindanao. You're probably going to see an increase in rainfall. But the other part of me is like, this is typical this time of year. This happens every 5 to 6 days. And the other part, and there's many parts to me, I'm a complex person, is trying to combat the information that there's another typhoon coming. A lot of people are insisting on that, and nothing is even remotely demonstrating that another typhoon is coming. This is, for example, the ECMWF, a broad low, maybe a little increase in the rainfall for Mindanao, but let's pull up the rainfall accumulation. Let's just go the next 5 days. And you can see it's mainly the east coast of Mindanao. You get some showers by Thursday into Friday. But there is a vast, remarkable difference between a typhoon and an increase in rain from a weak tropical wave. And you can see here, even with the Google DeepMind, we have to go out to like the 12th to the 13th before it even remotely hints at something. And that's still a long-range kind of ensembles in erroneous airs. They're called phantom storms. Same with the GFS. The GFS has been the most aggressive. It's kind of showing an LPA right in there, but it's a far cry from like what we've seen ahead of Tino and Uwan. You know, this is just ECMWF shows nothing at all. JTWC shows nothing at all. So the problem is, like I said, with some of these long range kind of hints at something, there's always just this small bit of truth to it, and people kind of run away with it. The same thing with the PAR fiasco we're dealing with right now. Everybody's asking if this is going to come back and loop back around and hit the Philippines. There's a bit of truth. It is going to re-enter the PAR. But same with this right here. This one, there's a bit of truth. There's a tropical wave. It's going to bring some increase in rain for southern areas of Mindanao. But is it going to bring a typhoon? No. Not even remotely close. So just deep breaths. But I get it. Any rain right now is not needed. But unfortunately, that's the tropics. And it's November. So the ITCZ is going to burp out a storm. Or not a storm, but just these weak tropical waves occasionally and increase the precip down towards the south. So for now, our storm is weakening as far as the one we're monitoring. It's pulling towards the north. It's getting hit by the next cold surge, which is going to blast back down towards the south, bringing in a much drier and relatively cooler air as we wrap up the rest of the upcoming week. But to say it's over would be a far cry. It's not over yet. It's still pulling off towards the north as it exits the PAR, pulls back in, but it is getting hit by shear and then the mountains of Taiwan, and it'll just be a low pressure area over Okinawa as it completely dissipates out. So throughout these updates, I hope that we've helped at least some of you. My goal, I know most of you say thanks, and I do appreciate it. Then there's a few people who are just don't appreciate these updates, but I don't know why they bother me so much. I guess it's because they don't really see the information. And I try to better communicate. And I guess my goal in each one of these for the last nearly 20 years has been learning how to better communicate these storms, learning how to present the information without hype. I know it sounds like I'm doing hype sometimes, and I really try not to. I try to scream when screaming is necessary. Don't scream at the spider, scream at the wolf in the room. You know, like I try to, yeah. Anyways, I hope that at least one or two of you were prepared ahead of the storm, and the communication for not just myself, but the entire team at WestPacWx was at least a portion of that. But always remember, know your information through official sources. This whole PAR fiasco where people are thinking it's going to loop back towards the Philippines is a direct result from people just not actually checking what Pagasa is showing on their weather map. Yeah, that's simply put. Anyways, as always, though, thanks for watching. And of course, friends, stay safe out there. Ooh, last thing, I got to update our Patreon because we got a lot of new members on our Typhoon level, especially on YouTube. I haven't shown that graphic because I got a lot of work to do it. We got so many new members, support for the channel, and so many new subscribers too. So thank you guys so much for all of that support. I truly, truly mean it. As always, though, stay safe.